Hey there, Team V. We are going to do a read aloud today about frog and toad together. In fact, we are going to do a series of 5 read alouds from this one book here. Let's take a look at what happens with frog and toad together by Arnold Lobel. A list. One morning, Toad sat in bed. I have many things to do, he said. I will write them all down on a list so that I can remember them. Toad wrote on a piece of paper, a list of things to do today. Then he wrote, wake up. I have done that, said Toad. And he crossed out, wake up. What do you think, friends? Do you think that you need to make a list about waking up? Then Toad wrote other things on the paper. A list of things to do today. Wake up, eat breakfast, get dressed, go to Frog's house, take walk with Frog, eat lunch, take nap, play games with Frog, eat supper, go to sleep. Let's take a look at this list, my friends. What do you see on this list that you need to be reminded of? Let's see. Do you need to be reminded to wake up? Do you need to be reminded to eat breakfast? Do you need to be reminded to get dressed? Do you need to be reminded to go to someone's house? Do you need to be reminded to take a walk with your friend? How about to eat lunch? Or take a nap? Do you need to be reminded to play games with your friend? Or eat supper? That's another word for dinner. Do you need to be reminded to go to sleep? Something curious about this list, isn't it? There, said Toad, now my day is all written down. He got out of bed and had something to eat. Then Toad crossed out, eat breakfast. Toad took his clothes out of the closet and put them on. Then he crossed out, get dressed. Toad put the list in his pocket. He opened the door and walked out into the morning. Soon Toad was at Frog's front door. He took the list from his pocket and crossed out, go to Frog's house. He is getting a lot of things done, isn't he? Toad knocked at the door. Hello, said Frog. Look at my list of things to do, said Toad. Oh, said Frog, that is very nice. Toad said, my list tells me that we will go for a walk. All right, said Frog. I am ready. Frog and Toad went on a long walk. When Toad took the list from his pocket again, he crossed out, take walk with Frog. Just then there was a strong wind. It blew the list out of Toad's hand. The list flew high up into the air. Help, cried Toad. My list is blowing away. What will I do without my list? What will he do without his list, friends? Tell me what you think he will do. Maybe. Tell me what you think he should do instead of worrying about this list. What would you do in this situation? Go ahead, say it out loud. Let's check out what he does. Hurry, said Frog, we will run and catch it. No, shouted Toad, I cannot do that. Why not? Asked Frog. Well, because, wailed Toad, running after my list was not one of the things that I wrote on my list of things to do. Is that a good reason to not run after your list? Frog ran after the list. He ran over the hills and swamps, but the list flew on and on. At last, Frog came back to Toad. I am sorry, gasped Frog, but I could not catch your list. Blah, said Toad. I cannot remember any of the things that were on my list of things to do. I will just have to sit here and do nothing, said Toad. Toad sat and did nothing. Frog sat with him. After a long time, Frog said, Toad, it's getting dark. We should be going to sleep now. Go to sleep, shouted Toad. That was the last thing on my list. Toad wrote on the ground with a stick, Go to sleep. Then he crossed it out, Go to sleep. There, said Toad, now my day is all crossed out. I'm glad, said Frog. Then Toad and Frog went right to sleep. That is the end of our first reading in Frog and Toad together. What did you think about that story, about the list? Yeah, very interesting to write a list about things that you probably would have done anyway. I'm not sure if you really needed that list. I'll see you next time when we read our next section of Frog and Toad together. Let's do our handshake. Up, down, wiggle, wiggle, pop. Love you guys. Bye, friends.